Members of Council, the City Council met in closed session in the Government Code Section 54956.9A concerning the PCAL, again, NAACP versus Lancaster case, and gave direction to Council concerning that case.
Thank you. Before we broke, we were talking about the sanitation district. I would like the city manager to contact the chairman of the sanitation district and ask him to attend our next city council meeting and report to us as to the current status of the sanitation district. In addition to that, I want on the agenda that we request that the meetings be held here, and that we do it on the same day as the city council meeting so that I can sit on the sanitation district, although it seems ludicrous to me that I would take the vice mayor off of the sanitation district, who is conversant and knowledgeable and has a full and complete understanding of it, so that I can bring my ignorance to it, because I really don't have any involvement in the sanitation district, but I'm willing to do that if that's what it takes to have the meetings here. Hopefully we'll devise something else. The fact is that I have a job. I earn a living outside of the city council. And let's be honest, the mayor of Palmdale does not have a job, and so it's easy for him to drive down to different meetings and get the stipend to do so. I'm not able to do that, or I'm willing to do that. But if we had the meeting here, there wouldn't be a problem. And so when he comes and reports to us, he should be prepared to respond to that.
Just for clarification, when I make the contact, it's the chairman you want, not executive director?
No, we don't want to assert it. We want the real guy. The one who spends $100 million of our money every year. I think that he ought to be able to be accountable enough to report to us. Okay, thank you. Anybody have any additional comments? All right. City Clerk?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for you to address the City Council on any items that are not on the agenda. You'll find speaker cards on the back table of the council chambers. We respectfully request that you fill the cards out completely and print as clearly as possible, so that if necessary, the City Council, the City Manager, and staff will be able to get in touch with you. As much as we appreciate your request to make comments before your 3 minutes begin, please understand your time begins when your name is announced. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. If you choose to ask a question during this time, any response by council will not extend your 3 minutes. When you approach the podium, you'll see 3 lights. The green light comes on when your time begins. The yellow light comes on when you have 30 seconds remaining, and the red light comes on when your time is up. We ask that you be considerate of the allotted time to allow other speakers to have their 3 minutes as well. Following this procedure will allow for a smooth and timely process for the meeting. State law prohibits the City Council from taking action on items not on the agenda, and your matter will be referred to the City Manager. Thank you.
Vernon Fury.
Good evening. My name is Vernon Fiera. I live in Lancaster. Mayor Parris, Vice Mayor, staff members, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and Happy Holidays. I don't say as often as I should, because I know that you're doing for Lancaster. And I apologize for that. I was one of the people that voted for you, with the hope that you would do my bidding. Overall, you've done 99.99% of the town. I don't want you to be perfect. Now, as council members, you want to pass certain laws and make certain decisions for our city, hopefully for the better of the city. But to do that, you have to have the staff members here, staff members here. You have to get advice and information from them. And then they have to find information by the sources. And that goes to you. You study it and make final decisions. overall, I've been very pleased with what you've been doing. Now, I know there are people here that disagree with you, and I have that right. But to me, it's a dishonor to the men who have died in the past, and for the men and women who are dying now, that are disrespectful toward you. They have a right to come and speak their piece and say their say, and disagree with you. But they do not have the right to be disagreeable. And doing that, they do dishonor to the men and women in our armed forces. Thank you for your time. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and because I want you to next year, many, many Happy New Years, and I hope next year will be just as challenging and will be just as forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Mr. Renee Vines.
Good evening. My name is Renee Vines, and I'm here today to talk about a situation that happened in 2010 to my daughter. She was a student at Eastside High School, and it was in the paper May 24th of 2010, the complaint. She was told to take off her shirt at track practice. Now, I don't appreciate it. When we tried to meet with the school and meet with the district, they refused to meet with us. I'm a taxpayer, and if you guys don't know, I'm formerly of the violence-free zone. So I've been advocating for our youth. And now this thing just turned around on me. I went to David Vieira, explained the situation, and they tried to reverse it and make it seem like I had did something wrong. My daughter did not deserve to be talked to inappropriately. Now, we know about the Penn State incidents. It was perverted what he told my daughter to do. And then he told me, when I asked him on a different occasion, it was a botch handoff in a relay. He told me my daughter needed to be able to recognize when the other young lady may be on her cycle. This is Amos Willington. I don't appreciate it. I went to David. David didn't do anything. We had a meeting after the fact. The Antelope Valley Press tried to get in touch with the school and get in touch with David Vieira. They weren't able to do it. So we finally met after the fact. And nothing was done. Trying to sweep it under the rug like it didn't happen. You know? So I'm coming to you all today. It's almost 2012. I have never in my life seen so much hatred in this city. I mean, I'm not from here. I didn't know anything about the city. I didn't do any research on the city. I brought my family here to get a different look. I'm not on Section 8. We're a taxpayer. And to get treated like this, and for David Vieira and Eastside High School not to meet with us, that's an insult to me. So I'm pissed off. And so I want something done about it. I want Amos Willington's sorry ass to be fired, because he had no right to talk to my child that way. And when you do your investigation, when you go talk to David, there's been complaints ever since then about Amos Willington. The last one, he was talking about a little girl's nappy hair. I don't appreciate it, Mayor. It's about accountability. You just said accountability. Is he exempt from it? It's time for a change. And I'm going to be back. I'm going to be vocal. And I'm not playing. My name is not Emmett Burrell. I'm not Darren Parker. I'm not Juan Blanco. I'm none of them cats, man. I don't appreciate the way our kids are being treated out here. And it's not only in the high schools, it's in the elementary schools as well. And I'm trying to help out. You guys want the men, the black men to step up and take their rightful places. I'm one of them. Just ask the schools about Mr. Vine. I come up to the schools. I'm a concerned parent. But when the teachers and the administrators are allowed to perpetrate these kind of acts on our kids, that's crazy. That is crazy, and you guys need to listen to us.
Mr. Ryan, I'm limited in what I can do with the school district. I have no authority over them whatsoever. It's the school board that Mr. Vieira responds to. I will request of the school board that they look into this for you, but all I can do is request. And if somebody is addressing young people that way, something should be done about it.
Mr.
I absolutely agree with you.
With all due respect, I've heard that before, and I know you guys are all family and friends, and that's all good. I'm not. Just let me finish, Mr. Parris. Let me finish. That's all good, but we need something to be done for real. I'm tired of the talk. Amos shouldn't even be around our damn kids, man. And then, just like I said, Penn State, that's a perfect example of what's going on. And how many times have we heard about perverts and pedophiles preying on our kids? Just this year, it's been 2 incidents on David's watch. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm sick of talk. Talk is cheap.
Mr. Ryan, if it was up to me, I'd be hanging child molesters from the lampposts, and everybody knows that. What I'm saying is I have absolutely zero authority over the high school district. All I can do is request. I will request the high school board look into this and meet with you. That's the best I can do. I can't compel them to do anything. You know, despite what people would have everyone believe, the amount of authority I have in this city is limited. You know, the sheriff's department doesn't respond to me. They report to the sheriff. The school board does not report to me. They report to themselves, essentially. I will have them look into this.
And it has been looked into, Mr. Mayor, and nothing has been done. David has been avoiding me. You know, in order to go forward, it's like being in a rowboat. You got to go backwards to go forwards first. This is unfinished business.
Have you talked to the school board?
Yes, I met with David Vieira twice. We had a meeting.
No, the school board. The board itself, his boss.
Yes, I went to the board and I told them about it, but then nothing's done. Nothing's done. They haven't even had the courtesy to get back with me and my wife.
I will ask them to reevaluate this, but that's all I can do.
Well, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. If I have to come here every month and voice my opinion, David Vieira and Amos Willington's asking me to go, and I'm dead serious. And he's perpetrating these things on our kids, man. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Vines, you know, we have this public meeting here that you said you want to come and speak to. The board, for the high school board, has a public meeting like this. Have you gone and spoken?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I have. And like I said, man, all they do is it's like sweeping it under the rug like it didn't happen, man. And that's my child. It may not have any value. She may not have any value to you. But her life is priceless to us.
Mr. Ryan, that is absolutely unfair. We have done more for the children of this community than any other council. And I think you just have to look around to see that. To make that accusation to us is just not fair.
It's not fair that my daughter has to go through the hell. You're not living my life. You know, we had to relocate so she wouldn't have to be under his leadership anymore. I had to move from my house on the east side of Lancaster to move to the west side in a 2-bedroom apartment. You tell me what's not fair.
Thank you. I'll look into it. Darlene Peterson.
She went to sleep, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I can't help myself. I'd like to thank the city for their Christmas extravaganza on the boulevard. It was really well done and really enjoyed by everybody I talked to. And on a lighter side, I'd like to relay a true story about something that the city used to do that was very good. It was in the past. They used to play host to Santa Claus when he came on his visit to Lancaster. And he toured the neighborhoods before Christmas. On one such occasion many years ago, when Santa Claus didn't appear in our neighborhood on schedule, my grandson Patrick was very upset, so he and his grandfather went out to look for Santa. Santa's sled must have had trouble because when they spotted him and his sled was on the back of a flatbed truck, which is being driven east on Lancaster Boulevard. They followed, and the truck went into a building somewhere behind City Hall. My grandson, Patrick, felt that Santa Claus was sleeping in that building while he was visiting here in Lancaster, and he needed to get his Christmas wish list to him. Being somewhat familiar with council meetings, he felt the mayor and council could do anything. In this case, the mayor was our new rodeo, whom he knew. Patrick thought it would be a good idea for me to talk to Arnie about delivering his wish list to Santa, which I did at the next council meeting a couple of days later. He felt that being mayor, Arnie could get in to see Santa. So those many years ago, I stood at this same podium with a Christmas wish list and a request for it delivered to Santa by Mayor Arnie Rodeo. Needless to say, this whole transaction took place under the watchful eye of my anxious grandson Patrick, who stood at the back of this council chamber in anticipation as Mayor Radio graciously agreed to deliver the wish list. The mission was accomplished, and there was one happy little boy and one relieved grandmother who was now off of the hook. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Miracles happen.
Mayor Parris, may I show a picture here that got me in trouble? It's on my cell phone. Ms. Peterson is connected to this. I had some explaining to do to my wife. Why Darlene was wearing your jacket?
Moving on. Leo Anderson. John Rain. Jim Barletta.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council, city manager, and staff. I'm back here again asking the council to please take a look at a situation that is going to affect all of us in water. I think it's been a little over 2 years ago I asked you, Mr. Mayor, to consider taking a position one way or the other as to if we're going to have chloramines in our water to disinfect, or to go with the other source, which is granulated activated carbon. And I attended a meeting here that I believe it's LA County Water Works. They put it on as in December. It's been probably 2 or 3 years ago. All they really did was just kind of ask questions among everybody that attended, and it looked like it was kind of 50-50 as to who wanted the chloramines and who wanted to go with the granulated carbon. And at the time, the engineers, well, it wasn't engineers, I guess it was the experts from LA County, they said, we're going to put a questionnaire in the water bill so that people can voice their opinion. Well, that never happened. A lot of my friends live in LA County Water District water, and they never got no kind of questionnaire. My question, my proposal to you would be if you would please put this item on your agenda, we can discuss it after the first year, because right after the first year, the board of directors and AVAC is going to be making a decision. It's either going to be chloramine or it's going to be going with the carbon, which is the safer one of the two. The reason I don't like chloramine because, you know, all the experts, they say, oh, it's okay. A lot of cities are using it now. We're only putting in just a little bit of ammonia. It's not going to hurt you. Well, that may be true if you only drink one drink of water a day. How many times do we stop and get a drink of water from the faucet? And, you know, to me, I don't claim to be an expert. And I've been doing water since 1974. I've learned a lot. But I'm not the expert. I'm not going to claim to be an expert. But I can use just common sense. If chloramines is so safe, why does fish die in it? Why is it that if you have an unfortunate situation where you have to have kidney dialysis, you're drinking chloramine in the water? It's not going to work. Yet they say it's safe. So I'm just going to ask you to please make a decision on it which way you want to go, because the city of Lancaster, the residents, are probably the biggest user of AVAC water in this whole valley. It's not a question. And even though you don't run the water department, you certainly have a lot to say about what kind of water is served to your citizens. And this is why I'm asking you to please put it on the agenda and let's really discuss it. And maybe if you can see my way, make a decision on one way or the other. Hopefully, they'll make a decision to not go with chloramines and to go with the granulated carbon. The carbon costs a little bit more, I understand, than the other way. I don't have those figures, but AVAC does. But how important is health? That'll affect every one of us and all of our citizens. So gentlemen, please.
I think I can answer some of your questions of what's going on with AVAC. AVAC is not going to make a decision on chloramines or granulated charcoal at the first of the year. During April, there's a THM federal level that they have to actually meet. And what they've done is, one is for the areas of Acton and Agua Dulce area, they're actually sending the water in exchange with the Palmdale Water District, and the Palmdale Water District is then channeling it over down to that area. For Water District 40, that gets the majority of their water from AVAC. AVAC has just started a water banking process where they're recharging water and letting nature actually filter the water, so they don't either have to use chloramines or granulated charcoal. They're doing it in another method. So there won't be a vote on that.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I've been told differently that they're going to have to make a decision one way or the other because the EPA is coming down. They have to comply with
The THM, that's in April, but what they're finding, and you can talk to Dan Flory there, he's the head of AVAC, and he can tell you that what they're doing with the new program, with the recharging that they've started in the property, that they're going to let nature do it and then filter it back out again. And they've also partnered with the Palmdale Water District.
That's probably the best way to do it. I hope they do it.
Yeah, call Dan Flory at AVAC, because that's I think what they're doing now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
And once again,
And for the record, the mayor is opposed to chloramines.
I remember you said that, Mr. Mayor. You said you didn't want any ammonia in your water. I remember the words.
That's right, I don't.
That's right. Thank you for that.
I also recognize that, we're under the control of the LA County Board of Supervisors, who are the water district. And, they're, other than Mike Montanovich, the other four could care less about what happens up here. I mean, isn't that pretty clear to everyone? Sorry. But yeah, for the record, I'm opposed to chloramines. I think that if the fish die in the water, we probably shouldn't drink it.
Exactly. That's how I feel. If it's so safe, why does the fish die anyway?
Okay, thank you.
But anyway, thank you for your time, gentlemen and lady, and everybody in this room. Please have a good Merry Christmas and stay healthy.
You too, thank you. Bye-bye. Michael Reeves?
Mayor Parris, council staff, and my fellow citizens. I believe these difficult times require draconian measures to protect our citizens. In fact, this is the headline in one of the daily papers of Los Angeles regarding the budget for the school district. The sign of the times is also illustrated in the AV by a story in the AV Press about 2,000 homeless people. As of we speak, the United States Department of Justice is meeting with residents 2 miles from here to hear reports of misconduct by the sheriff's deputies. The state is sending prisoners and parolees to the counties and the cities to handle. And what do we get from the county of LA here in Lancaster? We get a card in the mail telling us that our water rates are going up 9.6% because of water costs and inflation. And to that, we get sanitation bills based on an antiquated schedule and because of their mismanagement of the construction of 2 treatment plants. So what should our city government do? We prepare for the financial hard times ahead of us, specifically the economic mess and the law enforcement costs that will be incurred with the influx of criminals into our community. Retired Palmdale City Manager Steve Williams mentioned this to the Palmdale City Council at the last meeting. We need an honest assessment of all debt and all assets, and just like a family who's had a breadwinner taken from them, respond accordingly. After handling city debt, the city focuses on measures to keep our homeowners in their homes. It should be checked with the assessor's office and the sanitation district to see if the city can alleviate or better pay off the sanitation fees for its residents, so that the major component of the property tax bills are removed. Then all measures can be taken to keep the assessment fees stable for all home and property owners. We as a city will be taking care of our citizens so that they can remain in their homes. We will be establishing the very lowest tax rate base to attract new residents and new businesses. While the items that the city has done are productive, such as development of the boulevard, we need to focus now on making life livable for our fellow citizens. after which we can focus on the additional projects that make life pleasurable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry, I just ate dinner. Any comments from the council before we recess?
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everyone. Our next meeting will be
The redevelopment agency is adjourned until Tuesday, January 10th, 2012.
the next meeting of the city council will be on December 27th, 2011. Wait a minute, that's wrong. Explain this to me.
January 10th,
Which
2012.
December 27th meeting has been canceled.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. January 10, 2012. Wow, the year's already over. Carol, I'm coming home. My day is done.